me tell you a story that will completely flip your idea of wealth upside down. A man who built an $8 billion fortune. A man who could have bought anything on the planet, private jets, mega mansions, super yachts. But instead, he lived in a small apartment, carried his papers in plastic bags, wore a $10 watch, and quietly gave away everything he had until he died with almost nothing. And here's the crazy part. Nobody knew, not even the people closest to him. This is the story of Chuck Feeney, the billionaire who wanted to die broke on purpose. And if you watch until the end, I'll share 3 powerful wealth lessons from Chuck's life that you can use immediately, no matter where you're starting. Chuck Feeney was born during the Great Depression in 1931 to a working-class Irish-American family in New Jersey. His parents didn't have money. In fact, some months, the only thing they really had was grit. Young Chuck delivered newspapers, shoveled snow, and did whatever he could to help his family. He wasn't a genius. He wasn't born rich. He didn't have advantages. What he did have was this quiet belief that if he worked harder than everyone else, something would eventually click. This mindset, this almost stubborn discipline, became his competitive edge. After high school, Chuck joined the Air Force, and that decision changed everything. Traveling the world opened his eyes. Different cultures, different buying habits, different rules for what people considered expensive or cheap. Chuck noticed something nobody else saw. Americans stationed abroad were buying luxury goods, whiskey, perfume, watches, at massive discounts because of tax differences. That tiny observation became the seed of a billion-dollar idea. He realized, if you remove taxes from high-end products and sell them in the right places, people will buy like crazy. In 1960, Chuck and a business partner launched Duty-Free Shoppers, the world's first major duty-free retail chain, and it exploded. International airports, shopping hubs, tourism hotspots. The company became a global phenomenon. Everyone wanted duty-free luxury goods. Prices were lower, margins were huge, traffic was unstoppable. And while the world saw DFS as a monster business, Chuck didn't act like the man behind it. No flashy suits, no ego, no look at me moments. He kept his head down, showed up to work, and reinvested aggressively. Because for Chuck, money wasn't a trophy, it was fuel. Here's the part that shocks people. By the 1980s, Chuck Feeney was worth several $billion, but he didn't tell anyone. Not his closest friends, not even his business partners. He still flew economy, still lived in a small apartment, still used plastic bags instead of briefcases. His watch? A cheap plastic one. His lifestyle? Almost monk-level minimalism. People literally thought he was middle class. Meanwhile, he was quietly rewriting global philanthropy behind closed doors. Chuck had one mission: give it all away while he was still alive. He didn't want his name on buildings. He didn't care about credit. He didn't wait until he died to donate. He wanted to see the impact. His foundation secretly funneled billions into hospitals, medical research, universities, peace programs in Ireland, public health initiatives, and education for underserved communities. And he demanded anonymity. He once said, "You can't wear 2 pairs of shoes at once. You don't need billions to live well." While other billionaires collected toys, Chuck collected impact. By the time Chuck reached his 80s, something incredible happened. He hit zero, his life goal. He had officially given away over $8 billion, with almost nothing left for himself except a modest retirement. No yachts, no mansions, no private island, no supercars. He lived in a rented apartment with barely any furniture, and he was incredibly happy. Near the end of his life, he said something that still gives me chills. "It's a lot more fun to give money away when you're alive than when you're dead." Chuck proved that wealth isn't about accumulation, it's about contribution. So what do you take from this? What can an ordinary person learn from an extraordinary billionaire who died broke on purpose? Here are 3 powerful lessons Chuck Feeney left behind. Lesson 1. Money is a tool, not your identity. Rich doesn't mean Rolex. Rich doesn't mean mansion. Rich means options. Rich means freedom. Rich means impact. Chuck didn't look wealthy. He behaved wealthy. Lesson 2. Build quietly, live simply. The loudest people often have the least. Chuck built one of the biggest empires in retail history, and nobody knew. Success isn't something you perform, it's something you live. Lesson 3. Give more than you take. Maybe you won't give away billions, but you can give kindness, you can give support, you can give your skills, your time, and your generosity. What you give out eventually comes back tenfold. Chuck Feeney didn't just redefine wealth. He redefined what it means to win at life. He proved that the richest people aren't the ones who consume the most. They're the ones who contribute the most. If this story inspired you the way it inspired me, imagine what happens when you start applying these lessons to your own journey. And if you're serious about leveling up your business and wealth game, hit subscribe for more. This is Money Tane, and this was the billionaire who died broke on purpose.